Hey, everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. All right, it's Saturday Hockey Talk. A little early today because I got stuff to do this afternoon. So this is the preview for game number 35. Montreal is in Florida to take on the Panthers, second game of the season between these two teams. Florida beat us earlier in the season. Matter of fact, Habs have lost their last 5 games to Florida. And Florida has had at least 5 goals in each of the last 5 wins for them. So Habs losing 5-1 last time here in Montreal. So what I'll have for you here is I got some news for you, a little bit of that. I've got, I forgot to put it up. I've got the Guess the Score contest. Guess the score of the game and the first goal scorer of the game. And you can pick that guy from either side. And you have to be the first person in the chat or in the comments for the video with that guess, and then if that is the winning guess, you win $10 directly into your bank account. So please make a guess, and good luck to everybody. I'll give you mine so I don't forget. I'm going with 5-2 Florida because they're going to score 5 goals because that's what they do against us. And I'm going to give it to Carter Verhaeghe for the first goal. Florida's Carter Verhaeghe. So 5-2 Florida. Carter Verhaeghe with the first goal. I hope for a better result for the Habs. And definitely tomorrow. It's a back-to-back situation this weekend. Tomorrow, New Year's Eve, they have a game against Tampa. And I hope they do better there. I don't think it's going to be here. Let's see. Well, let's see who's here first, and then I will at some point get to my news. I'm trying to wait a little bit for the lineups because I have the last game's lineups, and they're probably going to be the same, but the lineups for today aren't out. If you're worried about Slavkovsky, apparently he's fine. And, he wasn't hurt at all. He doesn't have a concussion, and he should be in the game tonight. I'm assuming he will be, but he might not be. I don't know right now. All right, let's see who's here. Bartholomew. Hey, Bartholomew. How's it going, man? Jack Newell. How's it going, Jack? Daryl Adams. Hey, Daryl. Let's see. Daryl's got 4-3 Habs, Suzuki first goal. And Jack Newell's got 4-3 Habs, Sam Reinhart. Reinhart's actually really good, a good pick. I think he may be a bit of a Habs killer with goals when we play against him. So Jake Allen getting the start today. So does that mean he's not getting traded? Does that mean he's getting traded? I guess it's still up in the air right now. I kind of thought if he didn't get one this weekend, then we'd know, but he's getting the start today. I kind of assumed also before the weekend came about that Monty would get to start tomorrow against the Lightning on New Year's Eve. If he's your number one goalie, that's a game you play your number one goalie in my opinion. So Allen has a .938 save percentage in his last 2 games. So let's hope he can keep that up here. He's going to need to be at his best to beat Florida. I think that's for sure. Florida seems to have our number in general. So we'll see what happens there. Habs are 2-1-1 on this 7-game road trip so far. So far, so good. They've had points in 3 of the 4 games and are sitting with 5 points on out of a possible 14 with 3 games to play. So they got 5 out of a possible 8 points already. Josh Anderson has 5 goals in his last 5 games. So it took a couple of games after he scored his first this season to go on that streak that I was talking about, and so were a lot of other people. So he's gone on that streak. When does it stop? We don't know. So that was after going goalless in his first 24 games, and he now has 6 goals on the season. This is about a former Hab. My last piece here of news. Former Hab Jonathan Drouin has gone 2-8-10. 2-8-10. It's like he's a goalie. He's gone 2 goals, 8 assists, 10 points in 14 December games. And overall for the whole season, he is 5 goals, 11 assists, 16 points, and that's in 34 games. That's a 0.47 points per game average. In his career, he has 297 points in 519 career games. So he's under his career average. So everybody going, look at Drouin, blah, 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 about Drouin. He's under his career average. There's nothing to see over there. At some point, he's probably just going to do the same things he's done here. But at this point, it's just he's under his career average. So I just thought I'd point that out because I saw something about him getting the 10 points in 14 December games. So there you go. Huzu facing one of the league's favorites without Jack Eye sounds crazy to me. But, I had this story in the last show from Jack Eye about what he's doing down there. It explains everything. And anybody's still complaining Jack Eye's not here. He should be here. It's because you don't know what they're doing. I guess. I don't know. You can understand that. Not trying to come down hard on you there, Huzu. But I mean, he's there for a reason and he's accomplishing that reason and he'll be back up soon. When it'll be, don't know. But I think he'll be down there for a little while longer, probably through January. But he's doing well there. I believe he's got 7 points in 9 games, playing well, getting better defensively like he's supposed to, becoming that guy that can play 20 minutes a game and be a top 4 defenseman. That's what they want him to be, and that's what he's working on. If he stays here as a third pairing defenseman, yeah, he gives that physical presence, but he's never going to be more than that. And he won't be here long either, if that's the case, because of the talent coming up behind him. To have Arbor stay here, he's got to get better defensively. He's doing that. I don't disagree with you that it's great to have him here for the physical side, but, he's got I don't know if it's a project, but, he's working on something. Phil is here. Wonder Phil. Happy almost end of the year. 2 days left. Hey, Lucas. Bartholomew. We'll just call you Bart. Bart says 5-4 Habs. Trying to spit. Gross. Monahan first goal. Phil says, did I know Habs or anybody else that Habs will win tonight? We can't know that because none of us has a crystal ball. By a score of 7-4. Incredible, huh? And Drouin's going to score all 7 Habs goals. I don't know how he's going to do it. Oh, Galley's going to score all of them. There you go. If it happens, listen. If it happens, you'll get more than $10 for that guess. All right, let's see. 4-2 Habs. Caulfield with first goal says, bye-bye. Hey, bye-bye. How you doing, man? Bob's your uncle is here. He says, hey, boys. Highlight Harbor. How's it going, man? 6-2 Panthers. Reinhardt, first goal. Yep. I think it's going to be, I don't know. What I'm hoping, I can't get the words out. What I'm kind of hoping for here, I hope they'd win, Habs. I'm hoping they can stay with them and make a game out of it. It's not a blowout early on. And, they stay with them as long as they can. And hopefully that's like into the third and it's a close game. Win or lose, as long as they try hard, play for 60 minutes. I'm okay with that. Can't wait until the Habs are ready to contend. Then it's skyward for our team from there. Yeah, it's just a little bit of patience, If we have some patience, I think in 2-3 years at the most, they'll be in the playoffs. They'll be making progress towards that ultimate goal of winning a cup. Playoffs, then become a contender, and then hopefully win a cup. And maybe we're lucky, playoffs, they have an awesome year and win a cup right away. It could happen. We've actually been playing well against the top-tier team, says Bart, but not really Florida, though. Not Florida. So, we lost in a 5-1 earlier this year. I don't know. I'm going to just check and see if the lineups have come in over here, or we'll go with what I've got. And of course, no lineups yet. So we'll talk for a few minutes more. Nice, baby. He's got a red Caulfield jersey, just like that one there. It's hanging out. That number 22 is a Caulfield, given to me by Mr. Habs Guru, who is not here. Although he's out west, so it's 9:40 over there. So I guess it's understandable. I had to start a little bit earlier today because I gotta go food shopping, and it's like I don't have a lot of opportunity in the next few days. So it's got to be this afternoon. And yesterday I did everything so that I could have a couple hours to go and do that right after this show. And that's what I'm doing. So that's how she goes. It ain't easy being sleep. I mean, me. With my ADHD, I find if I don't schedule thing, like I work off lists. I got list for every day, things I got to do. And that way it keeps me on track, and I don't have problems with time and stuff. And I'm, where that's a big problem for ADHD. So yeah, I've got everything kind of planned out. Does it always come off and work? No, not always. At least at the end of the day, when I can look at my list and see, oh yeah, well, I got all that done, I feel like I did something, and I don't feel guilty for not doing anything for the day. That's one thing about ADHD. You got to do something every day. If you're not productive every day, you don't feel right. And that's how I am. That's why I work every day. All right. That wasn't interesting enough to get any comments. All right. Well, if you're here, don't forget to guess the score contest. If you haven't made your guess yet, please do that. Guess the score of the game and the first goal scorer of the game. And if you're the first person in the chat or comment on the video with that guess, you get it right, you win the prize. You also have ADHD, Bart? They do help me, but there's other reasons behind that too why I smoke. It's not just for that, but it's not the ultimate. I would like to be officially diagnosed and get on proper meds for it. It would be great, but I think that not giving a flying fuck about anything temporarily is part of the ADHD, isn't it? Anyway, some of the things I do to get over my ADHD, I've developed over time, that, well, this works for me. And I've discovered since that, it helps. So I'm doing the right things, I guess, but still. I could work all day some days, and at the end of the day, feel like I did nothing. Did nothing worthwhile. Even though I did everything on my list, I still, it's a problem. But listen, I lived through it. That's where these help. Yeah. Okay. We're off the subject of hockey. Lineup's still not in. We could talk for a few more minutes, and then I'll get to it, and we'll go over last game's lineup and figure out what changes might happen and might not. I kind of think if Slav is in the lineup, which from what I can tell after reading after the hit and everything, he will be. I don't think there's much change to the lineup. I don't think there's much change. We'll see. Maybe Harris Kovacevic switch back, maybe something like that. But I don't think forward lines. I don't know. I follow this guy on Twitter, Bart. On Twitter, his name is Jesse. I don't know if it's Jesse something ADHD. Anyway, I found him. I started reading his threads and stuff, and that's where I discovered that that's what it is that I have, ADHD, because everything he talks about, I'd say 80 to 90% of the symptoms of ADHD I have. So it's very relatable if you have ADHD. If you don't, it's not, because our brains work differently. That's literally how it works. And I think, discovering it, knowing it, acknowledging it, not being ashamed of it, goes a long way also to help. So you sort of have to lean into it, learn how to be able to function properly, but lean into it. That's what I do. All right, I guess we're gonna go to my my preview, or else this is gonna be very boring if I don't get to this goddamn preview. All right. Today's game, Montreal at Florida, the 15-14-5 Montreal Canadiens at the 21-12-2 Florida Panthers. One thing that's kind of surprising, you see the records very different. You're going to see the stats not all that different. I mean, they're better in some spots, but I mean, in general, not that better. But they're getting better results, mostly because their defense is a lot better than Montreal's. And as our defense solidifies and gets experience and gets better, and these guys come into their games, we'll be doing exactly that as well, winning more games. All right, how to watch this game. Start time is 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. In Canada, Sportsnet East. It's on City TV, I believe, across the country. TVA Sports in French. In the Panthers region, Bally Sports, Florida. Streaming ESPN Plus, Sportsnet Now, and I'm sure the other ones as well. But maybe not. I don't know. Season series. So as I said, November 30th, we lost 5-1 here in Montreal. Playing them tonight. February 29th in Florida, and then April 2nd near the end of the season in Montreal. I would say that's in the last 10 games of the season. I'm not sure how many games there are. Somewhere around 8 or 10 games in April. Last 10 games, Montreal went 5-3-2, and they lost their last game. Panthers went 6-4-0, and they're on a 3-game winning streak. So 3 games. I mean, maybe they're due for a loss tonight, and that could happen, and maybe not. They won 5 games in a row against us last. Maybe they're due for a loss now. Let's hope that those things work out. Montreal's away record, so this is the home and away. Montreal's on the road, 8-8-0, and Panthers at home are 11-5-0. So not a great sign. Here's the killer for Montreal. Here's the killer. Referees. Kelly Sutherland. Right away, when you hear Kelly Sutherland's the ref, it's not going to go well for Montreal. And yet, last season, we were 2-0-0 with him reffing. So it's weird, but 1-4 the season before. The other guy, though, is the killer, Kendrick Nicholson. Look at his record last year. We were 0-5-0 with him as the ref, 1-2 in 21-22. And in 2021, where we went to the finals, we were 2-8 when this guy ref. So we know Kelly Sutherland. This is not a good ref, and this other guy, obviously, we're in for it today. It's going to be bad, I think, today. And then last time I said that with Chris Lee, and then he was good for 2 periods, and then the third period, Chris Lee actually came out. So we'll see what happens here, but I don't have high hopes. Atlantic standings. From top to bottom, Boston, Florida has moved in. Well, I think they've been there for a little bit. Toronto, Tampa, Detroit, Montreal, Buffalo, and Ottawa. With Tampa, excuse me, we're only 4 points off of them for the final spot there. So tomorrow's game is really going to be important. It's going to be an important win. If they can, they close within 2. If not, they're 6 points out, and that's going to make a big difference. So kind of important. NHL standings, where does Montreal sit? In 24th right now. So they're in the bottom 10. Ahead of them, St. Louis and the Kraken at 37 points, Pittsburgh and the Wild at 36 points, Montreal all alone at 35 points. Edmonton and Calgary sit at 33 points, Buffalo 32, and the Blue Jackets at 31 points. So, tail of the tape. This is, the scoring chances for percentage as possession numbers 46.3%, 28th. That's for Montreal. 55.7% for the Panthers, 4th. So, this is where they're better than us. Goals per game 2.79 for Montreal, 27th. 2.94 for the Panthers, 26th. So, we're score a similar amount of goals. Goals against per game, 3.35. That's 23rd in the league for Montreal, and 2.60 for the Panthers, 4th in the league. Defensively, they're very good. Power play percentage, 17.9%, 21st for Montreal, and 18.8% for the Panthers, 20th. So very similar numbers. And PK percentage, 72.9% for Montreal, 29th. And they've got a good one, 83.6% for 7th. So head-to-head record this year, 0-1-0 for us, 1-0-0 for them. Face-off percentage, we beat them as we beat most other teams, 54% even for Montreal, 3rd in the league, 50.6% for the Panthers, 13th. So it's not a bad one, but we're better than most teams this year. Shots on goal allowed and shots on goal for per game. Allowed, Montreal 33.5 and Panthers 27.3. And on goal for, 29 even for Montreal, 34.1 for the Panthers. So they give up less and put on net a few more on average. Players to watch over the last 5 games. Points, Nick Suzuki with 7. Alexander Barkov with 9. Goals, Josh Anderson with those 5 goals in 5 games. Sam Reinhart with 6. Assists, Suzuki with 5 assists, and Barkov with 9 assists. So all his points are assists. Plus minus, Ulanen plus 3, as does have Evan Rodriguez. And even there, that's similar. It's close. They've got a little bit better, but it's close. Leaders, team leaders for goals. Nick Suzuki, 10. Sam Reinhart with 23. That's not close. Points. Suzuki with 30 and Reinhart with 44. Once again, not really that close. Average time on ice. Matheson, 25-20, and Brandon Montour, 23-21. And wins, Monty with 7 and Bobrovsky with 17. So that's not close. Florida, top 5 scoring. Sam Reinhart leads the way, 23 goals, 21 assists for 44 points, plus 15. Barkov is next, 11, 27 for 38 points and a plus 19. Carter Verhaeghe, 17, 13, 30 points, plus 2. Matt Tkachuk, 5 goals, 21 assists, 26 points, minus 4. And Evan Rodriguez, 7, 16, 23 points, and a plus 18. Pretty good plus-minus numbers. Habs top 5. Suzuki leading the way, 10 goals, 20 assists, 30 points, minus 8. Matheson, 6, 19, 25 points, minus 6. Cole has dropped down to 3rd spot, 8, 16, 24 points, minus 1. Monahan, 9, 12, 21 points and minus 6. Alex Newhook, 7 goals, 6 assists, 13 points, minus 5, still hanging in there. Still hanging in there. What would be really bad is if when he comes back, he's still there. No, that won't happen. Slav and Galley right up his ass there with 12 points. Goalies tonight, it's not Monty. I don't know who it is. Actually, let me go take a look and see if the lineups are in. Lineup's not in. I don't know who the backup is even there for Florida. Bobrovsky is 17, 9-1. A 2.50 goals against and a 9.11 save percentage. They don't give the shutouts anymore here. So Jake Allen is going to be getting the start. Allen has made 12 starts, 4-6-2, 3.43 goals against, and a 9.04 save percentage, and no shutouts that I know. So there you go. Here's the lines. Last game. So Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky. If Slav doesn't play, my opinion is this. Ulanen, if they put Anderson there, we know that doesn't really work, even though Andy's hot. But maybe Andy's hot because of the line he's on. I wouldn't break that up. I'd put Ulanen there, and in Ulanen's spot, I'd bring in Heineman. That's how I do it. So I don't know if that's whatever, but if Uri, Slavkovsky's in the lineup, I think it stays the same. So second line, Evans, Monahan, Anderson. Third line, Dvorak, Armia, Gallagher. Fourth line, Stevens, who's playing well on the fourth line. I like this kid as a fourth liner. Pezzetta and Ulinen. And defensive pairings, we might have a change there, might not. Matheson, Savard, Gooley, Barron, and Struble, Harris. Maybe Harris comes out or Barron comes out, and Kovacevic goes in there. We'll see if that happens. And that's what I got for you. That's that's what I got for you. At this point, I usually end my video, but we're not doing a video. We're doing a live stream. It's a good thing I didn't hit end stream. Let's see, where was I? New Pierre Gervais book has many nuggets of goodies. So that's the second book from him. Is it out in English? If not, well, I haven't read the first one, but I'm not reading it in French because I won't understand it all. Bob's Your Uncle says, seems like there has been goalie trade rumors for a month or more. Is this a Jake Allen showcase game tonight? It could be. Is a trade imminent for Allen? I kind of think a trade is imminent for Allen. Some people talking that, doesn't mean it's going to be Allen. It still could. Nobody's safe. I think Monty is safe, considering the age difference between Primo and Allen and the way Primo has been playing as a backup. I kind of think Primo is safe as well, and I think it's got to be Allen that goes. So is the trade imminent? Got to think it is, and this could be a showcase. Or it just could be they got to keep him. They can't just let him sit because no one's going to want to trade for the guy. So he's got to keep his regular spot in the rotation, and they're working on a deal. Got to believe that. Bob's Your Uncle says, Florida, 5-2, Reinhart, first goal. Hey, Enter Tap, how's it going, man? Go Habs, go. Habs got this? Yeah, okay. I worry about games like this. I don't know if you can say that. Don't worry, Habs are going to win. I don't know how you see that for sure, like a sure thing. But, I like the positivity. Mary Jo, how's it going there, Mary Jo? 5-2 Florida. Kachuk with the first goal. Awesome. Phil says, yes, it's out in English. But yes, I'm probably still not going to read it. Those Gervais books would be very enjoyable to this crowd, I'm sure. Yeah, I get it, but somebody want to send me one, I'll read it on there. We'll do reading time with Rick. Puck Pierre Gervais. I have no reason to say that about him either. He was a longtime trainer here. I don't think in the first book he said anything that you could really be mad at him or even the players. I don't think. So I don't have any reason to feel like that. Quinn, hey Quinn. Quinn says 5-0 Florida. Verhaeghe with the first goal. I got Verhaeghe too. And Enter Tap. 4-3 Habs. Caulfield. First goal, and he could really use one. Like to see that kid go on a streak, right? I mean, Andy did. It's time for Caulfield to go on a streak. I hope that happens real soon. Gervais is a real hero. Yeah, I have nothing. I see some. Well, like that, like fuck Gervais. There's no reason for that. I don't think he did anything wrong. Yeah, I have nothing against the guy. No reason to even think like that. Yeah, I mean, he's been there a lot. Was 30 years, no? 30 years as the trainer. That's a long freaking time. He saw things and knows things, and the fact that he didn't put them in the first book means the guy's pretty, stand-up kind of guy. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, well, you say that, Huzo, and I get that, but from what I understand, I don't remember. I didn't hear that he gave away all these secrets that were the kind that, he couldn't talk about. That's my understanding. I did not read the book, so I could be wrong, but that's my understanding. Bart, don't call anybody in here like that. You want to say you don't like what he said? Don't have to call him an asswipe. So don't do that. That'll get you tossed for 5 minutes. Not right now. I'll give you a warning. Bob's your uncle. I did not discuss the lack of response from the Habs after the big hit. I think mostly because I don't really want to get into the argument. I don't want to argue with people about Arbor having to be here. Because that's what it's going to come down to. And no, I'm not going to argue with anybody about it. I know why why he's down there. And yes, this is something that they're giving up in order to develop Jack-Eye better so that he'll be here permanently for years to come. And I don't know why we have to talk about that. Was the response from the Habs good? No. But you have to look at, I guess, who's on the ice. Anybody jumping off is going to get tossed. I mean, but you know what? Somebody probably should have, because that was a really bad hit. And, so you get tossed from the game and maybe suspended for a game, but somebody should have gone out there and leveled that guy. I agree with that. But, you can't look back and go, because this happened, 5 games ago, or it's 10 games now. They shouldn't have, Arbor should be here. There's a reason he's not here. Updates on Slav should be in the game today. He's fine, he said. This spotter, they took him in. No problems. So as of today, I don't know. That's why I'm waiting for the lineups to come out. We're going to get to, I did everything, didn't I? Yeah. So I don't have to do that. Let's see if they come out. Maybe they're out now. Not yet. Arbor for 3 minutes versus Arbor for the whole trip. Not sure what you mean by that. Well, Bart, exactly, right? He's a bit of a liability defensively. They need that to change in order for him to be here long term, even with the physicality, because of the guys that they have in the system. So Arbor's playing well down there. Yes, Arbor's got 7 points in 9 games, and from everything I've heard, playing like Arbor, physical wise, and I think the defense is on the rebound now. So give him a little bit more time. We'll see Arbor back up here before the end of the season. Pretty much for sure that's going to be. Like I said, I think another month, and we'll see him again up here. And in the meantime, it doesn't matter what games they play. He's not here. So, that's the way it is. Habs will be listening to offers on Jack-Eye 100%, and I think 100% the opposite there, Quinn. The reason he went to Laval was for him to be here long term. They want him. They believe in him. And he will be here long term. That's not a guy that they're listening. I mean, they'll listen to offers. Yes, you can listen to anything. Doesn't mean they're going to trade him though. They're not listening. They're not trading him. You gotta completely and crazily overpay for them to do that. My opinion. Like, I don't understand. I get you guys. I like you guys, so I'm not trying to criticize you. But I don't understand. Is it that you don't understand what I'm saying, or you don't agree with it? Because it seems like it bounces off of a lot of you guys. What I'm saying just bounces off you like I didn't say it, and it's, I don't understand. I wasn't happy when they demoted him, but when I heard the reason, when I saw what was going on, I can change my mind because it makes sense. I don't understand. So, like I said, it's not to give you guys shit. I just don't get it. Oh, I think that's part of the plan, right? Look at the way his brother's playing. Florian's playing really well. There's probably a future here for him, right? I think that's what they want. So they want Arbor to be here long enough to have both of them together. Yeah, Bob's your uncle. But okay, let's go back and look at a guy like Guy Carbonneau. Guy Carbonneau in the minors and the juniors was a point producer. Go look him up. Was a point producer. They drafted him. They didn't draft him to be a star center. They drafted him for the number 3 line to be a checking center. They told him so, and he leaned into it and became one of the best ever. So just because the guy did something and that got him to their attention, whatever, it doesn't mean that he has to stay only that. Because if you keep Arbor here and you don't improve his defense, and he's on a third line playing third pairing minutes, he's not getting better. Going to the Laval where you can play big minutes on a top line, he's going to improve, and that's the whole thing. So that's my opinion. I agree with them. Both Suzuki's. Ryan hasn't made the NHL for Carolina. Why you figure he's going to make it here? Well, Lucas, but that's the point. There's no denying there's a ton of skill on defense coming up for Arbor to stay here, and they want him to. He has to get better and justify a spot on the top 4. That's their goal. He says so himself. I had it in the show the other day. I'd send him the podcast, the Habs Abnormals in the description. We'll talk about that. Quinn, like I said, I'm sure they listen to everything. It's not that they won't listen, and it's not a conditioning stint. It's a development stint. Conditioning, just because he came off an injury, they didn't send him to Laval to condition. That's a 1 or 2 game thing usually. So that's not what it is. Well, Phil, we'll see what happens. Who says Allen's going to Carolina? It's not, But if he does, I could see that too, but it doesn't mean he's going to make it here. Okay, but Bob's, so you're saying that Arbor should give up a long-term career here in Montreal in the NHL just to prevent a hit like happened to Slav. There's nobody else here that could help that or could have stood up for it. I mean, it's, you're asking this guy to sacrifice a lot of shit just for us when he could have a long career at that. Win a cup, maybe, whatever. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you guys about his value in that respect, but it doesn't matter. That's collateral damage. What happened? That's collateral damage in their project to get Arbor better defensively by developing him in Laval. What happens in the games here while he's gone is collateral damage. You have to have, there's collateral damage for everything good that happens. So DJ has Habs, and that's exactly what would have happened, right? Arbor would have, stay here, third pairing. Guys come up. Now he's your 7th D, and he's only in games that you know are going to be too physical. It's not, you know. Arbor's not washed. That's no. Kid's going to come back up, and he's going to be a hell of a good defenseman, in my opinion. Bob's your uncle. Nobody responded. Listen, I'm not happy with that. I'm not. I'm really not. Somebody should have. Well, apparently Caulfield, the littlest guy, kind of tried to mix it up. But I mean, he's the littlest guy, right? But at least he tried to mix it up a little bit. That's what Slav even says. He was asked about this. He's a little disappointed himself. So, you know. And maybe Arbor not being here right now gets these guys to stop relying only on him. Right? You can't just rely on Arbor. Other guys have to do shit. And maybe this is a good time for them to step it up here. Lucas, yeah, I mean, it's a shame that's, but good on Cole. Good on Cole. You know, Cole Caulfield's engaged in this game and loves this team and all that. When you see that, all I'm saying here, then this is it with Arbor, okay? I don't want to waste everything on all the time on Arbor. When Arbor comes back, and if, as I believe it'll be, he'll be much improved defensively. All of you guys that think he should be here and not be doing that, I don't want to hear one of you guys saying, "Oh yeah, look at Arbor. Wow, I'm so glad that he's so better defensively." And they did that, because I know a lot of people complaining about Arbor today when he comes back, and if he's good, like I'm saying, they're all going to go, "Yeah, I knew that would happen. Yeah, I was all for it." You know, so don't one of you guys do that to me. I'm trying to make a point. We should just leave it at that then. Conservative lawyer. I don't know who was on the ice. It was the line one. So Caulfield, Suzuki. I don't know who the defensemen were. Anybody jumping over the boards, you know, the coaches are probably telling them don't go. So, you know, unfortunately, it's who was on the ice. But you got Pizzetta, you got Anderson can fight. You got guys out there that can step up for this kind of stuff. And right now with Arbor down there, they're gonna have to. Galley isn't much bigger than Cole, but man, Galley, he doesn't back down though. I'm easy to rile up. You should have seen me a few years ago. I'm not riled up like I used to be, because something like that, then I'd be mad like the rest of the show. And I'm not mad. I'm just saying, I'm trying to get a point across. It seems like it's falling on deaf ears. I'm frustrated about that. Let's just leave it at that now. We've all made our points. We all understand what we're talking about. We'll see what happens now. Conservative lawyer, 100%. Other players could have, I don't know who the defensemen were, but somebody should have done something more than Cole Caulfield being able to yell at the guy. And I don't expect more from Cole, and I don't want him fighting. Bart, no, you're so far wrong. That's crazy. If he's such a dud, why do they want him to be a top 4 team here? You're gonna go, well, management doesn't know what they're doing, and coaches don't know what they're doing. Yeah, I mean, it's a dumb argument. Was Struble on the ice? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I don't know if Struble was on the ice. If he was, he should have stepped up. Bob's your uncle? Good point. And that is a good point. Somebody later in the game should have done that. Sent a message. I agree with that 100%. You know, I don't have an answer for that. I've seen games where Arbor didn't respond exactly the way I wanted either. So maybe he wouldn't have. I don't know. Yeah, I shouldn't say that. Arbor usually does. But no, somebody in the game should have responded to that. Quinn, 100% differences of opinion are. I don't tell people they're not allowed to have a difference of opinion. My argument here was, it seems like when I keep saying this, it's like it falls on deaf ears, and I get thrown the same argument back at me. It's just, I say so, and it's not like it's being debated. It's just the same thing being thrown back. Debate it, and I'll say something different. But so that's how it is. But a healthy debate. That's what this channel is about too. That's why we allow, without any, harassment, fans from other fan bases, because I want that healthy debate. Not always going to get it, obviously, but. And by the way, just like you guys who have the other belief or opinion, and you strongly believe in your opinion, well, so do I. And that's all. And but I'll say this for myself. I can say this. I might have a strong opinion of something, but when somebody debates with me and their argument makes a lot more sense than mine and what their points are, I can change my mind on things. Like I did with Arbor. I wasn't happy with the sending down. Then I found out why. I'm good. Gooley and Barron? Gooley. I'm surprised Gooley didn't step up there. I wonder if maybe he's got an injury that we don't know about. Maybe some, that he didn't. But I'm surprised Gooley didn't step up there. Too much information, Bartholomew. We're only here for another 12 minutes, so you might not make it back in time unless you're quick. Conservative lawyer asks, how much do you think we get for Jake Allen when we trade him? It's a good question. I don't know that I've got an answer except to say there's a lot of teams, and they're playoff teams, that need a goalie. It could create a bidding war. If it's a bidding war, it could go as high as a first-round pick. You're going to laugh. I'm not saying a top 10 first-round pick, because the teams that would probably acquire him wouldn't be getting you a top 10 pick. But maybe as high as that. But I think probably a third-round pick. Probably. And maybe only as high as a second. But, I mean, something like that. Leafs need a goalie. I don't think they're dealing with the Leafs. One, if they like Jake Allen and they respect him all that, why would they send him there? And I don't know if Jake Allen is totally unprotected for trade. If he's got, I think it's totally up to them. He can't say I don't want to go there. Samsonov is real shit. I just saw something where in all the goalies in the league who have played a certain amount of games, for save percentage, he's right at the bottom, 840. You can't have a goalie with an 840 save percentage. Lucas, I don't know about a prospect or two, but maybe a third and a prospect. I think if you're getting a second, I don't know that you're getting a prospect, unless it's a really, like, there's 3 or 4 teams really want him, and it creates a bidding war, and you don't know what you could get. You could get a lot. Conservative is a Leaf fan? I don't think so. He may like them too, but I don't think so. I can't remember any time Conservative came across as a Leaf fan. Andrew, hey Andrew, how's it going? Nice to see you out there, buddy. Go Habs, go, man. Conservative lawyer, I think everybody notices they need a goalie. Bart, we're talking about potential places for Jake Allen to go. It is perfectly makes to say the Leafs. It's not out of the question. I just don't think they're going to do anything in a trade that would help the Leafs. What's the division tax? I don't think that's the thing. They don't listen with Montreal and Toronto. They've made trades. They've even made a couple of big ones, I guess. But I've always found the big trades they've made is one-sided. One, we get something big and they get ripped off. There's a few of them out there. But in general, Montreal doesn't make big trades with Toronto. They make kind of small trades that don't mean anything. Yeah, but they don't really make big trades. Is that a trade tree fact? Plekanec trade got us Lane Hudson in the end. And look, even the Plekanec trade, no, it's not a big trade. Plekanec was at the end of his career and, NHL career. And, that was not a big trade. I don't see Allen being traded to the Leafs. I don't. I think if they could avoid it, they'd probably trade Allen to a team that we don't play again, or we only see minimum of one time the rest of the way. Although we're not a playoff team, so that, doesn't really matter. But yeah, I don't see Allen going to the Leafs at all. I have to say, I would be very surprised to see a trade like that. Even Carolina, I wonder why would they want to trade with Carolina? But I could see a trade to Carolina. Kind of thought if we beat Carolina on Thursday, that Allen was staying there because they would have traded him and he wouldn't have come back. Bob's your uncle. Even Wall, he's still a young goalie, but yeah, they're in trouble there with the goaltending. They can't. I mean, how are they going to win a round without good goaltending? Quinn, I don't think I've never heard it necessarily that teams do that, but usually you usually don't trade within your division much. Not big trades where you're really helping the other team. And in this case, you give the Leafs a decent goalie, you're helping them. I don't think Montreal wants to help the Leafs. Yeah, Lucas, I don't think Montreal is doing anything to help the Leafs win a cup. No, I don't think that's going to happen. Not in their own division. Besides, they also know too, you give them a goalie, so you give them Allen, he's got another year. Maybe that extends their window a year. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. Yep. Exactly, Bart. Exactly. It's not 60 years, but it's 56. And I think this year, if they don't win the cup, it's 56 years or 57. It's one of the two. But Quinn, how's it going to help us more long term? We're going to get what from them? A draft pick? You can get a draft pick anywhere. is a player. What good players do they have in their system, and who are we going to get out of this? Their Leafs' success this season. Speak for yourself. I don't want to see them have any success. I watch them and follow them to see them lose. So yeah, it means something to me. Lucas, I mean, that's a good point. You know, if it's the best offer they get from the Leafs, then they have to take it. Maybe that's a good point. Robertson, yeah, Robertson's going to be better than Cole Caulfield. Allen for Nylander, yeah. That's going to happen. They're going to have to pretty much let Nylander walk if they don't sign him, because are they going to trade him before, at the deadline, before the playoffs? Doubt it. Only way you're trading and getting Nylander is we're giving up fucking Caulfield, or we're giving up Slavkovsky. They're not going to send Nylander anywhere for cheap. Bob's your uncle. I don't. Again, this is a case where I don't agree. I don't disagree with what you guys are saying. I don't. You make good points and all that. I just say the Habs and the Leafs don't usually trade like that. That's all. That was my point, and I don't want them to be trading him to the Leafs. Quite frankly, I'm quite sure neither does Allen. Allen, Anderson, and a bag of donuts for Nylander. Again, throw us, and I'm not saying they're dregs, but it's like throw them our dregs and get one of their best players, because that makes a lot of sense, right? I know they're not too bright over there, but I still don't think they're going to do that. We'd have to send somebody big time, not Anderson, not Allen. And, well, Leafs don't make that deal. Of course they don't. You can't throw dregs to a team and expect, to get back a big win from that. And then if you're all going to say, well, Anderson, well, you're all liars then, because when he was not scoring, everybody thought he was shit and he was not worthy of blah, blah, blah. But you want to give that guy to get Nylander, right? That makes a lot of sense. Oh, look, we're almost done. Yeah, because I can't stay long because I got to go. Even though I'm enjoying the conversation, I am. And no, I'm not getting mad. I'm not mad. I am not. I'm going to beat up my dog after, but I'm not. No, I wouldn't do that. Ever. Don't think Robertson will be better than Cole. He's not. But from what I saw from him in the AHL, he seems like a really strong and smart player. Yeah, no, great. We don't know if it translates. Even giving Monty Gould, it just doesn't. I don't think that's enough even for on there that they think. I mean, I don't think so. Gooley, though, I mean, we're not giving up Gooley. The Leafs fans might call him that. You don't know. He's way better than Samsonov or anything they got there. Oh, yeah, line updates. I'll do that, and then I'm going. Yeah, we got him. Hang on. All right. Slaff in. And no changes to the Habs lines. Just like I said, no changes. No changes on D. So, status quo. And then who's starting? We're getting the backup. Stolars, if this is accurate. Don't have the numbers on Stolars. That could help. But we're getting the backup. I could look at their lineup, and it wouldn't mean that much to me to say, well, this guy's in, we're in trouble. Yeah. So there you go. No changes to the lineup. So the lineup that I showed you except is accurate. It's the same lineup. So there we go. Randy Mack, just in time. I'm leaving. I'm sorry, but I got to run because I got somewhere to go. What type of dog do I have? I have a little mix, Shih Tzu, Chihuahua, Pug, and something else mix, and I would never hurt her. It was a total joke, so please don't even think about it. Yeah, I don't think they would even talk about Nylander in the trade. He wants too much. Why are they trading Nylander for a guy who wants too much money next year? Well, thank you, conservative lawyer. I don't know you, but I hope you are a good guy as well. I try to be. I'm not all the time, but all right. I'm taking off, and Nylander has a big package. That's what I see there. No, it's not. All right, that's it. I'll be back at 7 for the game, and right after the game, we do the post-game show. So hopefully, you guys will be here for that. Tomorrow, doing the same thing, except tomorrow will be a video for the pregame. And it's possibility the post-game show might go till midnight. We'll see what kind of mood, how things are, and if there are people around. But yes, possibility I'll do that. And that's it. So I'll see you soon. Have a great afternoon. Thanks, everybody, for being here. And thanks for the debate and the conversation. And just because we didn't agree doesn't mean we can't get along. There you go. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you at 7. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Peace out. Ciao, everybody. That's it.